Synthesis of nanoparticles. There are two types of approaches used for the synthesis of nanoparticle. One is known as top-down approach and the second one is bottom-up approach. In case of top-down approach, we will start with the bulk particle and we will grind it, we will make the cutting, carving and molding and convert it to nanoscale. In case of bottom-up approach, in bottom we have atoms or the smaller particle, very small particle that are below the nanoscale, that will form clusters and further they will be converted into the nanoscale materials. So in case of top down approach, in which the physical bulk material is physically broken down to make the smaller fragments and that will further convert it to the nanoscale material, and it will include cutting, carving and molding. Bottom up approach, it includes the self-assembly processes at the atomic level. Self-assembly is by the physical forces that are operating at the nanoscale and that are used to combine the basic unit into larger stable structure that will convert it further to the nanoscale. So here we will start at the atomic level and that atomic level will form clusters and it will further convert it to the nanoscale material. While in case of top-down approach, we will start from the bulk material and we will physically broken down into the fragments and convert it to the nanoscale materials. Using top-down and bottom-up approach, nanoparticles are synthesized by the three methods: physical method, chemical methods, biological method. Physical method include high energy ball milling, laser ablation, spark ablation, while chemical method include co-precipitation method, sol-gel method, hydrothermal method. Nanoparticles are synthesized biological method through microorganism or plant leaf extract. In this video we will discuss only the physical method that will include high energy ball milling, laser ablation and spark ablation. High energy ball milling, it is the first physical method for the synthesis of nanoparticle that is based on top-down approach that will include mechanical deformation process. So this deformation is done in a mechanical shaker or high energy mill shaker that has stiff balls made from the metals. When coarse grain structures are introduced into this mill, it will undergo dissociation as a result of severe cyclic deformation that will produce particle size in the range of 4 to 26 nanometer. So what is this process that is in the ball milling? The coarse grain structures are grinded into the nanoparticle or nano size by mechanical deformation. It is a very useful technique and it is simple and it has high potential to scale up to produce tonnage quantities of the material, but it has a drawback, that is the contamination from the milling media or from the atmosphere. Second method is laser ablation method. It is based on bottom-up approach in which the small size particle will undergo the agglomeration and it will produce nano size materials. So here the term ablation is used and it is the process of removal of particle from the surface of material. So we will take a target particle, target material, and the laser light will strike on its surface and it will ablate some of the particles. So when the laser beam interact with the metal target, the heat will generate. So the first step will be the vaporization or vapor formation from the target particles. Second is the cluster formation. that are very small particles that are at atomic level, so it will undergo self-assembly and it will produce a cluster. Now the cluster, that is also a small size particle that is below the nano size range, it will undergo the nucleation and it will produce a primary particle that will undergo agglomeration and it will produce agglomerates that will be in the range of nano size particle. So the evaporation, it will result in the cluster formation. After nucleation it will produce primary particle, and after agglomeration it will produce agglomerates that has size in the range of nanomaterial size. Third physical method is spark ablation. It is bottom-up approach in which the vapors will be produced and it will undergo self-assembly and it will produce the nano-size material. So in spark discharge process, electrodes were first partially vaporized by the electrical spark application of the high voltage at high temperature, and the vapors will be produced. Then accompanying the quenching effect of the flowing inert gases, clusters will be formed because the vapors, it will undergo self-assembly and it will produce the cluster. After that it will produce primary particles that will undergo agglomeration and it will produce the particle size in the range of nano size. So the inert gases, it will flow out all these material and the nanoparticle will be deposited on the carbon fiber.